Nile Cruise, as we're coming to you from the Museum of the late President Gamal Abdel Nasser, as we're commemorating his memory as he passed away on the 28th of September 1970. And today we are pleased that we're continuing our interview with his son, engineer Abdel Hakim Gamal Abdel Nasser. Welcome with us again. As before the break, we were talking about your memories with your father. And I'd like to ask you, now there were so many important decisions that your father took, and I know that you must have been so young, but at least maybe your older brothers or your mom told you, how was the atmosphere, like for instance when there were major decisions like the nationalization of the Suez Canal, for instance, or any of the important decisions when it comes, for instance, to the unification with Syria, any of these memories where he had to really take a crucial decision. What can you share with us about him in that, on that side?
I remember, and I can't go as too deep in the decisions, because I was but I...
At least there must have been some kind of, like the air itself in the house as he was thinking about it.
I used to see the people, the visitors coming to, and I was too young, so I always, go sneak between them, and then suddenly he was sitting with the head of state or sitting with the, for example, Secretary of the United Nations, especially Dag Hammarskjöld, was very close to him. They suddenly find themselves, there is young kid, in the middle. So this is, and we were always, used to when there is any state visit, they used to come and visiting him at home. And we used in the entrance, which is the actual entrance of the home. This is the entrance of the museum, but this is not the entrance of the home of the residence. So we used to sit, and we used to be there greeting the guest, shake hands, and he was telling him who we are and our name and everything. And then they go back to conduct their talks and everything, and we used to go on. So I believe, I can't point my finger to a special decision, but I believe, while I was doing by that time some silly things, he was taking very important decisions.
What about the memories of your mom, when your mom talks to you about your father's mental state at certain times? Which was the most challenging moment that you were told that was a hard time for your father?
I believe, I want to tell, my father was always concerned, her main concern of his comfort at home. She never interfered in politics. She was concerned about when he come home, he find the comfort atmosphere and the family atmosphere, and try as much, and he don't, when he is coming from the burden of the work and something, when he come back, she will not gonna ask him about the work. No, she always concerned to get him out of the mood, as much as she can. But of course, one of the very crucial moments I remember during 1967, and we remember when he left to give his statement on the 9th of June, and none of us knew what was going to happen in this, and of course, every of us, we got the shock, because of his resignation and all of this sort of thing. And this is a moment I don't forget, because by the time he get back, we start hearing the shouting of the thousands and thousands of people surrounding the house, and the slogans for him to stay, and they were all till the morning, from night till morning, and then we knew, you know, that it was not thousands, it exceeded the number of thousands, it became millions of people all over Cairo, and our house became the center of everything. Even the people of, by that time of the parliament, they couldn't come here because it was people to move from here to there. And even for a moment when I woke up, we didn't sleep, but by the morning I found they were putting chairs in the garden on the same plan of the parliament, that the MPs, the member of parliament, should have a special session in the garden here. So they didn't come. They couldn't come from the masses were everywhere. So it's happened, you know, that he wrote the letter that he is, and he decided to obey the order of the people and to stay in his position, and till we can finish all the consequences of this war in 1960. So this is, you know, this is one of the very difficult and historic moments I had in my life.
Yes,
in this house.
If we go back to the museum and this amazing hall back here, it has a lot of nice and amazing pieces.
Yes.
What are the most, you know, dear to your heart pieces of those?
Actually, you will find it is, you know, by that time, you know, you will find it from the nature of the decorations. You will find it all from countries that, most of them, from countries that my father aid these people for their independence, aid these people from getting rid of colonialism and imperialism and all of these sort of things. And you will find everything either connected with countries and people that they were all struggling in the same cause, or from other countries, which is, you know, our relationship, we had a real friendship. Yeah, and you will find most of the year you will find from Africa, from Latin America, from Asia, all of Asia, you know, from China, Malaysia, Burma, Indonesia, all of these Asians, and you will find from the people who are very close to us, help us, like you will find from the Yugoslavia by that time, the Soviet Union, and I remember he's one from the few people who got the medal of the hero of the Soviet Union. You know, they never give it to a non-Soviet person. And you will find from Greece, and this is, and of course, when you go there, you will find the cloths of the Holy Kaaba.
Yes.
Yeah, this was a gift from King Faisal. You know, when he made his first visit here after 1967, and after they put back all the mishaps happened before that, and they started all of us working together to get rid of the Israeli aggression. And other part you will find which represent his hobby. He liked photographing, was his hobby, and he liked to have a lot of photographs by himself. Even he liked to have a movie photograph. And even he used, when he had, and if he had a chance to have time, he used to make montage, you know, do the montage by himself for the films, you know. He get the small ones and he put them in a big reel by that time.
Wow, that's a really good story.
So this is concerning things you see here.
Upstairs also there are a variety of rooms, and there are so many beautiful rooms upstairs. A couple of them are still intact, like there's a beautiful living area.
Yes, this is this.
Yes.
This was the family living area.
Yes.
Here, of course, there was a TV, and this is we used to sit around the TV. This was the family, which especially and you find the dining room upstairs. This is we used to have our lunch, and this is actually the lunch was the real gathering time of the whole family. And he was always making the lunch, the time of the lunch, the dinner at that time, the main dinner, was the time when we get back from school. So all of us will sit together and having the lunch together, and then the sitting area, and then you see his room inside his bedroom, and we used to go many times to sit there, you know, because. So I want to tell you something. I don't have in the back of my memory a moment that my father was sitting like that, doing nothing. And I always, he was working. And even you go to his bedroom, you will find him reading what's going on, reports, reading he used to get there was a special department in the secretary, which is outside, was gathering all the letters coming from the people. There were thousands of letters, and they used to have these letters to be briefed, and he used to read all the headlines of the letters, and for many times, whenever they get it, for example, headlines of 500 letters or something like that, he should get, and he should never ask at least 10, 20, 50 from this letter to get the originals, to read it specifically, to see what the people want, what they think. If somebody has a problem.
The original letters.
Yes. And actually, I am very astonished because in the last years, 47 years, I can't tell you the number of people I met that they told me that we have a problem by that, and we have nothing to do, and we just wrote a letter to President Gamal Abdel Nasser by hand, and we put a stamp and we threw it in the post, and then they find somebody calling them, solving the problem. I can't, maybe in the last 40 years I met maybe hundreds or not thousands of people told me that we send a letter and we got an answer. We send a problem and we got actually, and when I think of it, I get really astonished. How? Because by that time, they don't have the technology we have.
Exactly. There's no.
They don't have nothing. It was ordinary, but actually, this was a great gift from. He was gifted to use these letters, and even even the letters who are against him, who have the hard words against him, used to read them all to know what's really going on.
Yes, and I think this attention to details and to the people really made him this great leader, and a symbol and a model for everyone.
So so he was always working. He would go to his room, he was working, reading, picking, and the phone was outside. The only place he was relaxing, if he had a chance to come to this room while there's nothing, and he saw a film, and he come and sit to see a film or something.
Now, before the interview and the first part of it, you told me that, and Sharif, that actually you tried, your father and your mother tried as much as possible to make you live a normal life like an average Egyptian.
Yes.
But still, I still think that still when you walked on the streets or even at school, definitely your colleagues, your teachers, the love and amazement that you are the children of Gamal Abdel Nasser. How were you, like, was that there that sense like that they were inquisitive and wanting to know what takes place at home, or at least trying to be friends with you, so that, because you're the son of a leader who's loved, and that's different, because if you're the son of a leader, it's different than if you're the son of an icon at the time.
No, let me tell you something. As a children and as the people were in the class, you know, children is children.
Yeah.
So we were really, you know, we were really treated.
Their homes did not reflect on you.
Nothing, you know. And we used to fight, and we used to nice. Everything was normal. Everything like a normal life.
What about the teachers?
And the teachers, you know, the teachers actually, I knew after that there was somebody go from my father, from the personal secretary or his personal secretary, and he used to go and meet the headmaster and the children and give them give them something that it would be that the president sending a message. He don't want his children has any different or any advantage. If this happened, he will not be happy, you know. So I believe, you know, this would reflect opposite to us, you know, if there is. Yes,
so
they were afraid. They were open, you know. Sometimes they were afraid to give us our normal rights. Otherwise, it would be understood that they give us.
So you got normal punishment and criticism.
Everything. And I want to tell you something. That's really helped a lot. That, you know, when when my father died when I was in the last year of the secondary school, you know. And after that, I managed to go to the Faculty of Engineering. So actually, if the Faculty of Engineering of that time was not representing my actual educational level, I would never graduate, because actually, this 5 years I stayed in the Faculty of Engineering, all this privilege was gone. You know, my father is not a president anymore, and even the last 2-3 years, maybe starting from, I graduated 76, from 74, even by that time, even there was some things, or people tried to against my father policies, my father this sort of thing. So actually, if I was not really on the standard to go to the Faculty of Engineering, I would never graduate from the Faculty of Engineering.
Well, actually, we have still to talk more about the great leader Gamal Abdel Nasser and this beautiful museum, and to share more of your memories. But we'll be going to a quick break, but we'll be back for more. We're going to do a report first and see it, and then we'll be back for more and continuing our interview.